Well, hello again, everybody. Today, I'm back out here with an old project. Some of y'all will remember this vehicle. I pretty much built this thing from the front to the back. It is a trike that I was wanting to convert this scooter engine to run a trike instead of just the scooter. It was working. The reason why I kind of gave up on it is, well, it almost killed me. I rolled it. I will say, my roll cage kind of held up, and I was glad for that. I kind of wished I would have had some seat belts in it. I didn't fly up, but I was very unlucky because I had my hands grabbing and moving and trying to keep from getting smashed, and seat belts would have been very nice. I was trying to hold on to the steering wheel, but my hand come off the steering wheel when the top hit the ground. Okay, so you can see it's been in the weeds for a while. It's got kudzu vines growing over it. If y'all do not know, now here's a piece of it. If y'all do not know what kudzu vine is, you are very blessed, because this stuff is no good. It takes over everything. It grows like a foot a day or something like that. Anyway, I got sticks in it and everything because it's been sitting. This has been sitting for a long time. It was sitting back in the weeds and pretty much abandoned. But what happened? Okay, driving along, and you can see there's a lot of movement there. That is the engine, the bushings in the engine. Okay, back here, you can't tell, but that wheel moves too. I kind of straightened it up a little, but not enough. Now, with all that, it gets very squirrely and very hard to control. So, it kind of got shelved for a couple of years. Now, had an idea the other day to kind of bring it back out and try to revive this little project. So, I put the Centurion's winch to work, and it drug it right out. Yeah. It got it right out of the weeds and got it ready to do something with it. Now, the fact that it was so hard to handle, so hard to turn, that was one of the things. But I have this. This is the exact same steering box that is in the mini Jeep. Comes with a steering wheel, got U-joints, tie rod ends, everything. This will improve the steering because it is pretty much just a direct straight from here to this, which I need to move this out farther as well, because you don't get enough leverage with just probably what, an inch and a half of travel there. That's not enough leverage for that to turn easily, and it is very hard to steer. And it did kind of whoop me that time because I couldn't keep up with it, and I ended up kind of on my top. But anyway, yeah. But I will tell you, the scooter part is going to go. That part's going away. What am I going to put in the place of it? Yeah, I do like that motorcycle. I do not want that motorcycle to be cut up to make a project. Okay, so we are not going to cut up the Hawk 250. What we're going to do is, let me roll it back so you can see a little better. itself, I want to have this built as just pretty much an accessory for the bike, if that makes any sense. Because yeah, just like this, just because you have the ability to use it as a computer like that, it doesn't affect the use as a tablet at all. The only thing is you have a connection point, and a connection point on this to use the two together, and this is useless without this. Same way it will be with this. Without the bike, this will just sit there. Okay, so before we do any demolishing on this thing, because it was quite a bit of work to build this, and I kind of hate to just cut it up without at least giving it a chance to redeem itself. Okay, so just like I said, I pretty much flipped the thing, and after I flipped it, it wouldn't start. If I remember right, the button didn't work, and the push button, it's got a push button down there for the starter. If I remember right, that was not cranking the engine, so I took a screwdriver back here and I cranked it with the screwdriver on the solenoid. It cranked and cranked and cranked and just wouldn't start. It wouldn't start. I got numerous other projects in the works at the same time, so, and I was probably working at the time, which takes up a lot of time. So it just kind of fell by the wayside, and well, let's see now if we can just at least get this engine running. If not, if we don't use it on this, maybe we could use it on something else. But I would like to see if it would run. So let's just see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, so I already pulled off the little air cleaner piece here, and it's got like an automatic choke in there. That is free. The throttle linkage is, well, the throttle linkage is locked up. It doesn't turn. Yeah, I'm twisting the whole carburetor and I can't turn. So the throttle is stuck closed. So maybe we can at least see if it idles. Okay. So first off, let me just try and see. Let me get my jump pack and stuff, and let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. Okay, so let's see. I would say, I mean, this should be sealed. It's got a little hole right here. It's got a vent on top of it. It did not have a hose on it. That may be a bad thing. And the cap looks kind of rusty. Yeah. The gas in this thing has got, you know, that smell. The gas does not smell good. And there's a little bit in it, but the problem is the tank. The way that I mounted the tank, this angle should have been a little farther that way, because you can have it up to about here, and it won't make it out of the port that it comes out of. Is up like right in this area. So yeah, there's gas down in here, but it's not high enough. So we just add a little bit to it. This actually has some two-stroke oil mixed in it. It's just what I've got. There's gas in the carburetor, or in the filter there, I can see. Okay, we have we have gas coming out of the end of the hose. Gas is getting down to where the carburetor is. We need to see if we're getting any fire. Got an old spark plug. Yeah, this should fire enough to let us know if we're getting any spark. So let me pull the plug wire off and stick that right in there. Okay, so I took you off the stand and all that, but I'm going to show you what all I've got set up here. I've got this little jump starter. This is a good jump starter right here. It's got an air compressor in it and everything, so that's pretty nice. Now I have that hooked up battery terminal and to a ground on the engine and oil line, but that's all right. It's a ground, and I have the spark plug right there. Now I tried the button up here, turn the key on, key is on, and push the button. Nothing happens. This button does not work. So let's see if we can, here's the starter solenoid, and if I cross that over, it'll crank. Let's just see if we got any spark. Y'all watch the spark and I'll crank the engine. I don't know about you, but I didn't see no spark there. So, probably something with this wiring. I'm betting that this switch, which it's loose too, I'll bet this switch, the jar from the crash, or maybe just the fact that it's been sitting outside, I bet this switch is no good now. So, let's trace some wires and see what we can find. Okay, so I do believe I found it. These are some of the wires that I'd ran before, and they go to here. Now this has 12 volts on it, and I hooked it to this black wire here. The green wire, I do believe this one is the one that if you ground it out, it will turn the coil off, because if you look up here, those are the same wires that's going right here to the coil, the green and the black. And I believe the green one is the one that if you ground it out, it will stop it from sparking. So once again, y'all watch the plug. Okay, so we are getting fire now, so that's good. Yeah, I'm kind of having some modifications on my multi-tool here, but that's okay, that's what it's for. All right, now I'm going to hook that plug wire back up, set up the camera here, and we will try to see if this thing will start. Okay, so I think we're ready to try to see if I can bring this old thing back to life. It is kind of a weird looking outfit, but I got the plug wire back on, and I got these two I'm going to connect here. Now that should be ignition on, and I'm just going to hit it and see. Maybe it'll idle. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't get the throttle to move. Okay, so maybe we'll get lucky. Even though I can't actually get this thing to can't get the throttle to work. Maybe it'll spit and sputter a little bit. Maybe it'll try to idle. So let's see what we got here, and hope for the best. Okay, so not idle. That was apparently not idle speed. That was That was something other than idle. Yeah. I'm glad I had this concrete block sitting here. Okay, so you can see it's kind of, it found that concrete block. Actually, I had the concrete block in front of it, in front of the wheel, so that if it did come forward any, it would just bump against it. I was figuring it was going to be idle speed, or maybe just a little bit more than idle speed. Apparently it's got some throttle input already. But it took off. Was heading right for the old Centurion here, and it would have got one of them. Well, something would have stopped it, I guess. But yeah, it got to there, and well, I guess it just quit because I didn't turn it off. Let's see if it'll start back. I don't suppose it can go anywhere now. Kind of beached on that block, but that was gonna, it was rubbing on the tire. Yeah. So that's 2 times this thing's almost killed me. Okay, so let's just see how much throttle we're giving. And it sounded like it's running good, didn't it? It fired up quick too. I'm thinking this thing is telling me that it wants to live, and yeah. Okay, well, let's try it again since it's up on a block and it can't run away this time. Might have flooded itself out. Needle might be stuck. Let me try hand choking it. Okay, I think we're going to have to figure out where this thing's rusted up, and that is just a touch too much throttle. A little bit more than what I want to have to work on it. It's kind of almost like it's wide open or something, but I mean, it started up and it heard me talking and it tried to run off, apparently. It doesn't want to be tore apart, so maybe we'll just do something with this engine that's on it, because I don't think it wants me to take it apart. It fired right up. I mean, this thing has been sitting for years, uncovered in the rain, and the only thing I found wrong with it was that ignition switch. It fired right up. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so I'm going to see what I can do to get this thing to have a little less than wide open. Okay, so I have the old blaster here, and I am going to spray kind of beside throttle valve. Same over here. There's another, it sticks out on this side too. And now that cable, I can't really get too good there. It's running up here. So I am going to spray some back inside there. Okay. Hang on. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, it's moving now. This part's moving. It's tight. Need to work it a few times. Well, I don't know what that does, but put that back on there. Little vacuum thing, I guess. Alright. It seems like it is loosening up pretty good. Just needed a little lube. Okay, let's see if we can get this cable going now. Grab a hold of it here. And pull. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Uh-oh. See if I can. I gotta pretty much shove it back in there. Let me work it a few times. All the way in, all the way out. Starting to free up. Look there. Hey there. It's pulling itself back in. Let me work it a few more times here. Yeah, that's working good. Look at there. Look at that. What about that now? This thing is coming back to life. Okay. So we do have a bunch of the PB Blaster in there, so I'm sure that's good for it. So let me hit this again. Okay, so now I'm going to try to start it up here. I might try to hand choke it a little. Oh wait, I didn't turn the ignition back on. I can't start without the ignition. There it goes. Still not returning all the way without being pushed. By the way, I did check the oil. It was good. There's no water in it though, so I don't want to run it very long. Where the carburetor at, I'm going to open it up, tap my hand over it a few times, try to clear out the jet. Try sliding it down over the wall. Start giving it some gas with the throttle cable right here. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. I don't want it to overheat. Okay, so technically I could get in it and kind of put around, but I don't want to burn it up because there's supposed to be a hose that comes from here and goes to the radiator right there. It's got a little tiny baby radiator in it. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. Yeah, here's the little radiator with the little fan and all that. Now there's no hose to there. I stole that for something, I'm not sure what. But I'm going to have to get another one. And yeah, that's already warm. Has to go from here to there. I think I'm going to have to get a solenoid. Or well, I might not need a solenoid. Okay, what color? Looks like a... Wait a minute. Not that one, it's this one. Okay, this red and green goes up. Red goes on up. Okay, this is the red. Okay, so let's see if we can connect this to hot. See if it will, see if it'll crank. No. Okay. Okay. So that little solenoid is bad, because if not, it would have cranked right then. It wouldn't have started because this is ignition and it is off. So yeah. All right. So after that cranking and stuff, oh, I'm still at 100%. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think we have a viable vehicle. We have pretty much revived it, and it will run. Now, I'm not going to drive it because of that, but it will run. And I think this thing has just saved itself. Okay, so yeah, it has just saved itself, redeemed itself from death. I honestly thought that engine was damaged, and I thought that it just wasn't going to run anymore. But did you see, after the years of sitting, how this thing fired up once I rewired the ignition? It started really, really well. Now that thing, yeah, it started and it tried to leave. So yeah, it doesn't need to be scared. I'm not going to tear it apart anymore, so it doesn't need to try to run off again. I am going to try to fix it up. So yeah, so we're getting back on this project again, and we're going to actually try to finish this thing this time, and I may even try to get it to where I can drive it up and down the road, you know, and if I can put bags somewhere, maybe I could use this for a little grocery getter to go get just a little small amount of groceries. Anyway, yeah, it'll just be fun to play with. But y'all stay tuned, and let's just see if we can bring this beast back to life. I mean, it's already back to life, but let's see if we can finish this beast, get it on the road, and start actually using it for what I built it for. Anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this video, because like I said, radiator hose and all that. But I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.